Research on Luke 20:1-8, Yeshua's authority to interpret Scripture and to offer new interpretation is challenged. The passage is an ABC chiasm, questioning the passage 1. Why is Hoki Iota, epsilon rho epsilons, translated as chief priests, plural, 27? This verse implies that the high priest and the president of the Sanhedrin were present with the elders, members of the Sanhedrin, when they approached Yeshua. The events of Passion Week got Yeshua noticed. The leaders of the temple were now involved. 2, what were the rivals of Yeshua looking for? The Sanhedrin, along with the high priest of the temple, was looking for what honor Yeshua had to offer his new teachings. The honor-shame system of Yeshua's day was connected to the Lord. The honor was bestowed upon people who stood for the Lord, that is to say, prophets. Shame was brought upon anyone who turned out to be a false prophet. The conversation was about the religious leaders' attempt to shame Yeshua for saying that his authority was from the Lord. Yeshua turned the tables on them so that they left him with the same information they had before confronting him, which was nothing. The confrontation probably resulted in more Jews believing in Yeshua. He stood up to the most powerful humans in the religious structure and won. Phrase study 1. Rochi, iota, epsilon, rho epsilons. Omegas, verse 27:1. One who serves as head priest, high priest A. Gentile, M. Paul 21, equals sigma iota, rochiitis, Q verse, 12-2. B. Israelite alpha, president of the Sanhedrin, 2. A priest of high rank. Chief priest culture section, discussion in Yeshua's time. Religious teachers, when having to answer a difficult question, would turn the tables and would ask their rivals to answer a question of theirs first. Yeshua answered the question put to him by asking his question. Since they could not answer the question, Yeshua told them that he would not answer their question, questioning the passage. 1. By what authority did Yeshua have to do what he was doing? The transliteration of the word authority. Ixi omicron upsilon sigma in the Greek and Hebrew is smikha. This word means leaning or laying on of hands in the ordination ceremony for a judge, elder, or a rabbi. The practice of ordination started when Moses ordained Joshua to take his place. Ordination was considered a transfer of duties and privileges to perform the Lord's work. Ordination allowed the person to decide on points of halakha, law. A board of 3 elders, one having been ordained, were able to ordain new rabbis. Yeshua was approached by the leaders of the temple, wanting to know who was the board of 3 elders who ordained him. They wanted to interrogate the board as to why they gave Yeshua his ordination. Thoughts? By what authority is a question that the church has used throughout its 2,000-year history. The proto-Orthodox church that Paul established became the dominant faction of early Christianity. Instead of working with other forms of Christianity to form a greater understanding of the life of Yeshua, they decided that they were the only ones who had the authority to be the church. For centuries, the Catholic Orthodox Church had been destroying any movement not conforming to their understanding of Christianity. To question the church was not accepted. A great example is from the movie Luther, which was released in 2006. Martin Luther asked his theology professor how the Catholic Church could condemn the saints from before the Catholic Orthodox separation as false saints. The professor's answer was, "Are you challenging the church decision?" Luther was not challenging the church's authority, but instead asking about the inconsistencies of the decisions of the church. History says that Luther saw the problems in the church and started the Reformation. The authority of the church became supreme, even surpassing the Bible. The Bible must be the supreme authority of the world, not the church. 500 years later, the mainline Protestant churches have returned to a Catholic state because they use their rule books as the supreme authority. They need to return to having the Bible as their supreme authority. Reflections. Who would agree that we do not know is a valid religious response? The temple leaders approached Yeshua with that question. We do not know by what authority you have. They left with the question unanswered. Numerous aspects of the world are not understandable, nor are they explainable. There is nothing wrong with the answer. We do not know. It is better to say that something is not known rather than trying to create an explanation. For example, how can the bread and wine used at a communion celebration be turned into the body and blood of Yeshua? Many theologians have tried to answer this question. There is nothing wrong with saying, we do not know. It is one of the mysteries of the Lord that we may never fully understand. Even in today's world, some things happen in nature and physics that cannot be explained. To accept Yeshua on faith means that there are things that are believed in without explanation.